you're
Yes.
way more enamored with birthdays than I am. You just love your birthdays. I tell you what, I've never seen anything like it. You're kind of like the Rain Man of birthdays. You're like
Sally Skip Sally.
You are. You're a Judge Wapner. 5 o'clock. It's Janice Ian's birthday.
I can't find my car keys, but I know everybody's
Of
birthday.
all the useless information in my
That's
life,
totally true.
Do you know that me sharing a birthday
Yes.
with, who did you say, Janice Ian?
Janice Ian and Billie Holiday in the musical world.
Even
and
Billie
James-
Holiday,
and-
lady
yes.
sings the blues. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
So,
all right.
huh?
I mean, what I did a couple weeks, I went to Tokyo to escape my birthday. I don't like anything about my birthday.
Yep.
I mean, I hit me the other day. Next year, I got to deal with Medicare.
That's
Holy
right.
moly. And so Hugh Hewitt, I was talking to Hugh the other day because he's an interesting guy. I mean, Hugh and I are friends. We don't always see eye to eye on a number of things. Oh, I don't know. Aid to Ukraine comes to mind. But, and I want to talk about that with you here in just a moment because this is a fascinating story.
It is.
But anyhow, Hugh and I are friends. We've known each other for a long time. We're colleagues. And he said, you better get ready, buddy. When you hit 65, you'll have to hire a team of people to explain Medicare to you. And I said, oh, no, what do you mean? He says it's so complicated. Part A, Part B, how does the supplement work? Now, thankfully, I've got the resources of AMAC like everybody does, great sponsor of our show. But is it that hard to navigate?
I haven't done doodly squat. I have a job. I've got this gig. I have insurance.
But you've got to get Medicare when you're 65, Part A. You're required to, right?
What?
Don't,
Well, shush, because A, I'm 66 and a half.
Yeah.
And I haven't. Are they going to pump, Mr. Davis? What do you mean I have to? What do I have to do? What are you talking about?
I was told twice now, if you don't take it, you got a mess on your hands.
Oh, great.
You are required to take Medicare
And
Part A.
what does taking it mean?
You got to sign up for it.
In order to do what? In order to have them do what?
In order to get benefits for when the day comes.
I got a job. Okay, so let's say
But you're going to have a problem when you need the benefits because when you're not going to to employed. You're going to retire eventually.
I guess.
I hope.
I may die in this
in 100 years. No. In 20 years, 25 years, we're going to be 90 and we're going to retire.
The M&M segment when I'm 87 and you're 84.
But there's some consequence for not signing up. Did you not know that?
Well, I do now. Thanks,
You're
Debbie
welcome.
Downer. All right.
Happy to serve. I live to serve.
I'm now largely unable to focus on anything you're now going to say because apparently my entire life is screwed up. Because
your whole future is gone. You're going to. You at least you're going to be eating cat food.
Yeah,
you're going to be in the.
Honey, I'll be home soon. I have news.
Ethan, please, Ethan, can you turn the air conditioning down just a little bit, Ethan?
Get Daddy
please.
a blanket.
Yeah, please, Ethan. I need some soup. Ethan, can you feed Daddy a little bit? Please give Mommy some soup. All right. I mean, I could be wrong about all this. I don't know anything about Medicare.
I can only presume. Listen, I can only presume that the text lines are going to spring to life with everything, with either things I need to do, telling me not to worry, or telling me that I'm screwed, or that you're crazy, or you've just done me a huge. Well, listen, you may have done me an enormous favor.
I hope I've done you a favor.
As you so often do. Exactly.
Joey Hudson, my dear friend and business manager who knows this stuff, he said, if you don't sign up when you hit 65, and I read this online too the other day. So hey, let's blow up the phone line, the text line, 800-655-MIKE, 800
just the text line,
800-655-6453 is what we're talking.
660-5759 for me, the Vias
exactly.
text line.
And let's get some
I will share.
listen,
and this may be one of those things that's not pure self-indulgence, but if there may be people driving around going, well, I'm 72. I never did anything. So maybe I can be of help to people.
Well, that's what I don't know. I mean, I don't understand because, again, you're right. If you have employer-provided insurance like I do, I've got Blue Cross or whatever it is. I mean, that's fine. But I think you still have to sign up for at least Part A.
The draft?
Yeah, you got to fill out the paperwork.
We don't have a draft, but you still got to register.
I mean, here's a funny text already from Aaron in Southlake.
Lord.
Lock up poor Mark Davis. He's refusing crappy benefits.
Exactly right. Oh, no, here we go. Here they're coming to my rescue here. Only if you are drawing Social Security benefits. Ooh, okay. I'll let you pull the curtain back. This is great. Boomers pulling the curtain back.
Yes.
When
my left elbow hurts.
When you turn 65, are you going to start it's your money. I mean, this is not welfare. This has been taken from us forever. It's been taken from us forever, Mike. And doggone it, it's time we reclaimed it. I haven't touched it yet because the longer I wait, the more benefit I get.
Correct.
So
I get that.
I think I'm gonna ride this train for a little bit. Watch me get hit by a bus on the way home tomorrow. But
there's drama about that too. Now there's dispute and there's debate about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else told me the other day, take it the day you can
and then invest it. Right.
And invest it. Turn it around because you'll get a better return on the investment.
Because if you sit there and start drawing it at 67 or 68, yeah, you'll be getting more money at that time, but you will have gotten nothing for the intervening 3 years with which you might have sort of done something. Speaking of keeping it and investing it, maybe as we talk about entitlement reform, and I know this is a nightmare, maybe wouldn't it have been something if when you and I were in our 20s, we would have said, you know what, I'm good. Trust me, I won't need a dime from the government. Let me have all of my Social Security withholding. I'll invest it and I will never bother you when I'm 65. I would have done that in a heartbeat. There's a part of me that feels like people should be able to do that. However, of 100 people who do that, maybe 15 or 20 of them will starve and die in the street because they will not have prepared for their retirement.
Well, I don't want you to panic. I've now got 11 texts that essentially say Mark's in big trouble.
Okay.
So Mark needed to do it. Mark should have signed up last year.
Yeah,
Mark,
okay,
you're gonna have to navigate it now.
Oh, here's my favorite. Don't listen to Mike. He's afraid of his own shadow.
That's true. Well, that's true. That's absolutely true.
But listen, that means you are alert to things and you are vigilant. And I'm just kind of wandering through life blithely.
No. It means you're normal and I'm psychotic. I get it. I am afraid of everything. There's a time for me to take another COVID test. I think I've got a little sniffle. I got some sniffles. I got to take a test. I mean, no, I am. I admit that I'm notoriously just anxious, and how can I not be?
But it's great. But you have been well served. You lead a cautious, vigilant, responsible life. I'm not wantonly irresponsible, but I'm way too lackadaisical about some things. It's like, I'll get around to it. So we balance each other out. We
do. I think we do. And believe me, you are a big blessing in my life. Hey, here's Jeff, the Medicare guys in Texas. You do not have to sign up for Medicare if you have credible coverage through group company insurance. But then somebody else said, Mike, if you have an HSA and you sign up for Medicare Part A, you can no longer contribute to an HSA.
I don't do the HSA thing.
Listen, I may not make it till April next year.
Jew haters are eating our college campuses. The Republic hangs by a thread. I offer you the talking stick. What do you want to do first in the next 3 minutes?
Well, let me just first plug the pretty woman who I'm going to have on in tribute to Lee Orbison. Laura Trump is going to be on the show today.
Yay!
She is co-chair,
vice chair. What do they call her?
And co-chair, and she happens to be the president's daughter-in-law. And I really want to talk to her about what it's like on a personal level to be witnessing what we're witnessing with Donald Trump. I'm going to share a very quick story. I've got a great focus group, and that's our callers. We're connected in a way that most people don't get to be.
Yep.
And believe me, I could say I had scrambled eggs for breakfast and all my lines would light up. I don't have any trouble. All the decades I've done this, people call the show. It's a caller-driven show, and I like calls. Mm-hmm. I went on a tirade yesterday for an hour about the insanity of Trump facing what he's facing, and here's what I was going crazy about: Benny Thompson.
That's when I got in the car, and you, as you so often do, because they want Secret Service protection, and is that they want him dead. I said they don't really want him dead, but then in listening to you, Mike, yes, they do. They want him dead. They are perfectly fine with him being shanked in prison. Listen, you are 1,000% correct. And as it so often does, the Mike Gallagher Show riveted me towards something I really need to be paying more attention to. And that is there's a portion of the Democrat Party that wants him literally dead.
I mean, Benny Thompson and 8 other Democrats have introduced legislation that has this ridiculous acronym that spells disgrace, because after all, Donald Trump's a disgrace, don't you know? That would strip him of his Secret Service protection if he's convicted. Now, what that means is he'll be essentially on his own.
Yep.
People started to say, well, yeah, but he's got his own personal security. Not in jail, he doesn't.
Nope.
But the United States Secret Service would be absolutely, they'd have a fiduciary responsibility to protect him. So they would have to protect him in prison. I don't know how any of this works, but guess what? The Democrats don't want to find out. They want him killed.
Of course. So let's be even-handed. If we had a Democrat about to be convicted, Democrat president, former, whatever, current, I don't care, about to be convicted of a felony, would we be calling for that Democrat president to be stripped of Secret Service protection?
Of course not. Never in a million years do I want Biden to be at risk or Hillary. I mean, if Hillary, I don't want anybody to be at risk, but they do. What possible reason could Benny Thompson, and you remember him from the January 6th crime?
Oh, of course.
This guy's just a clown. But and even the way they spelled it out, disgrace, I didn't even forget. But this is they're not only clowns. I was thinking about Tish James and even
clowns
Michael
are
Cohen.
funny. This is
Michael
not
Cohen.
funny.
No, but they're not. They're beyond clownish. They're trash. And I'm sorry to be so personal, but let me tell you about Tish James. And let me tell you about Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen is ostensibly the chief witness for the prosecution in the Trump case.
Yep.
How does he get to go on cable news every night and trash Donald Trump?
Of course.
Where's
that? Because most gag orders gag both sides. Some judges say, look, there's a lot of people yammering back and forth, so neither side can get out there with a bullhorn. But Trump's the only one gagged. And,
Thank you. And we've got a clip of this creepy Cohen who's on TV last night, and he's unhinged. He is raving and ranting. Yeah. Tish James comes to mind, the New York Attorney General. You know what she's done every day? She goes on social media and trolls and taunts Donald Trump. Now, Mark, that's trash. She's garbage. These are trashy, inarticulate degenerates who are, this is a big game to them. It's not a game to the American people. But here's what worries me. Talking about being connected to the audience, I talked about Trump, them wanting to kill him. Not one call. I didn't get anybody to even call. Now, I saw a poll yesterday. It makes me think of this poll I saw this week on, I think it was Axios. The level of interest in the Trump-Biden rematch is one of the lowest interest levels in presidential races in like 50 years. Are people just tuning out from it all, Mark?
Okay, we're now at the point where we need to explore this further tomorrow, but let me give you 30 to 45 seconds as your thought. If overall, it's like the person whose head is in the oven and feet are in the freezer, and he says, on average, I'm comfortable. And by that I mean that there are people who are just beaten down. They're not real fond of Trump or Biden. The people we hear about all the time, America didn't want this rematch. Well, I'm fine with this rematch because I live for the day that Trump is reelected, as do you, as do millions. And there's some people who are actually semi-enthused about Biden, but only because they want him to beat Trump. In the middle there are people who are dispirited. They're tired. They have Trump and Biden fatigue. That brings the number down. Yeah. But the people who are passionate about getting our country back and getting sanity back and getting borders back and getting the economy back, their passion will be there to help him win in November if we have our act together.
Gosh, I hope so, Mark, because if you're not passionate, you better get engaged and you better become passionate because we're going to lose this country. Now, the good news is, so far, things are looking good. Trump is ahead in 6 of the 7 swing states.
Yeah, man.
The more they throw at him, the more popular he becomes. So let's, again, we'll get Laura Trump, his daughter-in-law, to flesh it all out for us coming up. So we got a good day ahead of us. Happy Tuesday. And final note, there is, according to one expert in Dallas, a 10% penalty in premiums if you don't sign up when you're first eligible. And I think you've got a limited time to sign up for a supplement.
Or I need to do talk shows for Salem until I die.
Or they're going to arrest you. They're going to come get you, and you're going to share a cell with Donald Trump. You and Donald Trump, you'll be cellmates. I'll send you my pillow products.
Fantastic. I'll get a burger bite.
I'll send you my pillow. A couple of my pillows in the Hooskow.